And staying in Nigeria, that country boasts the largest and fastest growing telecommunications market in Africa as a result of its large and growing population, as well as a business environment with significant potential for growth in information and communication technology. Now, Tomi Ajayi of Stanbic Ibtc Bank recently released a comprehensive report on the sector. She joins us now from Lagos to tell us more about the report. Tomi, thank you very much for joining us on Regional Roundup. You're forecasting a growth of 22.22% for the industry. Where will that growth come from?
Good afternoon. I expect the growth to come particularly from the CDMA sector. Historically, the GSM operators in Nigeria have dominated the market due to their initial entry in 2001. I'll give you a little background on the structure of the market, of the Nigerian market, so that you understand where we're coming from. Now, the Nigerian telecommunications market is made up of three different segments. We have the mobile segment, we have the fixed wired and the fixed wireless segment. The mobile segment is made up of GSM players and CDMA players. Historically, CDMA players have had difficulties in generating profit because they have been unable to grow in subscriber base as fast as the GSM players. But in the near to medium term, I would expect the CDMA players, to start to take that market share, which has evaded them historically due to the increased network coverage they've been able to acquire over the recent times.
However, Tomi, in your report, you state that for the CDMAs, in order to take over the market, they would need quite a large sum of investment coming into the CDMAs. Is that likely to happen soon?
Yes, I'd expect this to happen soon. Why do I expect this to happen? Currently, the network expansion going on in the country has driven growth in the CDMA sector. And I would expect this to continue really soon. The companies in the Nigerian telecoms sector have been trying so hard, to develop their networks and to grow their infrastructure, and this has so far, they've been able to do this so far. I'd expect this to continue in the near to medium term.
Tomi, Nigeria still has a relatively low distribution of personal computers as well as 3G. Now take us through the voice versus data penetration opportunities there.
For data communication, there's a lot of potential, particularly since recently the Glo 1 has been brought into the Nigerian market. I'd expect this to turn around the broadband aspect of the market, and this will inevitably grow the internet connectivity. So far, the number of computers per capita is really low, one of the lowest in Africa and in the world. However, with the introduction of the Glo 1, which would turn around the data segment of the market, I expect a lot of significant growth in this area.
Now, mobile penetration is hovering between 40 to 45%. When do you see Nigeria catching up with the rest of the other African nations? For example, in South Africa, we have a 97% penetration, and even Algeria boasts of just above 90%. When is Nigeria likely to catch up?
Okay, it's interesting that you mentioned that because you said in South Africa it's 97%, and in Nigeria it's between 40 and 45%. But in the rural areas, for example, the mobile penetration rate is even much lower. It's significantly lower. It's lower than 15%. In Nigeria, there are three different segments of the market. We have the of the Nigerian telecommunications market. We have those in the urban areas, which account for in which the penetration rates are slightly higher at 65%. In the semi-urban areas is about 45%, and in the rural areas it's lower than 15%. I'd expect with the large and growing population Nigeria has, the increased need for telenetworking with the growth of businesses and increased awareness of the need to communicate, I'd expect penetration rates to increase in the next couple of years.